U.S. stocks surging today on news of a ceasefire in the trade war between the U.S. and China. President Trump announcing the deal after a dinner with the president of China at the G20. President Trump talking up the truce on the way back from Argentina aboard Air Force One.
It'll have an incredibly positive impact on farming, meaning agriculture, industrial products, computers. And what I'd be doing is holding back on tariffs. China will be opening up, and China will be buying massive amounts of product from us, including agricultural from our farmers.
The president again touting the deal this morning, tweeting, "My meeting in Argentina with President Xi of China was an extraordinary one. Relations with China have taken a big leap forward. Very good things will happen. We are dealing from great strength, but China likewise has much to gain if and when a deal is completed. Level the field." And while both sides say key details have to be hammered out, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is confident we are seeing the outlines of a final deal. All right. Steve Mnuchin, I want to go on. He said there were very, very specific items. We've been working on this for a long time, for a year and a half. We got down to brass tacks. Steve Mnuchin is no joke. I mean, he has negotiated many, many, many very detailed deals over his lifetime, and he really understands finance well. This is a hopeful sign.
This is, and for all of the critics that Trump's trade rhetoric would never be matched with a kind of recalibration of these major relationships. We saw it with Mexico first, and then Canada had to go along kicking and screaming, and he really did renegotiate NAFTA. And now you have America's #1 economic foe and national security foe looking at Donald Trump, and I think they look at him and they say, I think he's actually serious about wanting us to actually have reciprocal trade. So that's all got to get written down. But these are massive steps.
Steve Mnuchin makes it sound like a lot of it is already written down.
Good.
I mean, they've already worked into the details, Harris.
Well, and in fact, we heard just a little bit ago on Fox Business Network with Larry Kudlow, the National Senior Advisor of Economics, and he said that to that point, in the next 90 days, this 90-day ceasefire that we'll see, there are some things that are going to get done that are big. And they would only know that if they had already talked about these things. But I have a quick question for you, Marie. So Democrats have a choice to make here. Are they going to let this deal go through, or are they going to try to, get in there and do something? Same with the USMCA.
Yeah, on China, there is no deal yet. So those brass tacks that you mentioned that Steve Mnuchin's been talking about, those are all really important. And I don't think we can make a decision on any deal or support for that until we actually see them. Those are really tough details. They will not be a cakewalk working them out, certainly with the Chinese. And there are still significant tariffs on. They're not going up, but we still have significant tariffs on right now. We will have to see those details. The devil will be all in them. There's a political question, Harris, you asked, though, about whether Congress will approve the new NAFTA, the updated NAFTA. Right. And I think there will be some tough questions asked. Ultimately, I think they will, because it's actually not a drastic change from NAFTA.
Yeah. On a factual point,
it's not actually substantively.
But sticking on this one, a factual difference, though, on November 1st, 1,500 tariffs from China, they lowered on their end as a sign of concession. Right. So we actually have already seen movement and progress before this, Kennedy.
No, it's critical for them to lower these tariffs, and it would be great if we could have barrier-free trade with China. We still have yet to see how they're addressing some of the intellectual property theft, which, really is, in my mind, the most critical issue. And in some ways, the tariffs are secondary. The markets love it, though. And if the president wants the markets to go up, let's free up the trade.
Mnuchin mentioned that specifically, that they're working on that. So we'll see.